Good day, and welcome to another broadcast of Venture Capital Fund. This program comes to you with the kind compliments of Global Branding and Marketing, Venture Capital Inc., and Mega Money Media. Today, we're going to be looking at a very interesting topic. We're going to be looking at how smart entrepreneurs buy and manage debt. And this is something that you need to know. If you are in business, or you're planning to get into business, you don't want to miss out on this information. So strap yourself in and we're going to do a deep dive into that today. We will literally walk you through a day in the life of the consultant. And this is the office aspect of it. And later on, I will be bringing to you, we will be going to the field and literally be showing you how things are done from a management consultant perspective. However, do permit me to introduce myself. My name is Gary Thompson. I'm a business development consultant by profession. I'm a humanitarian by nature, and I'm the best-selling author for several books, including Manager's Toolkit and Billionaire Codes. These two books are already bestsellers. I want to encourage you to go to our sister company website, which is www.megamoneygy.com. You can navigate the front page and you will be able to purchase these books online. In navigating the front page also, you can subscribe to our newsletter, our daily blog, where you will get daily uploads of the contents that we are producing. You can also navigate shopping, and when you navigate shopping will lead you to a range of programs that we are offering. Again, if you're joining us for the first time, Venture Capital Fund is a program that is designed to look at everything business to really help small, medium, and large-scale businesses to accelerate their business growth. So we can call it the fast tracker. In this program, we'll look at a number of critical issues relevant to business. You will learn more about what is setting objective and planning, what is organizing resources to achieve the objective, and this is human, technical, and financial resources. You will learn what it takes to coordinate activities, and a whole lot more in relation to your business. There are 5 essential tenets that you need to understand about the management process: setting objective and planning, organizing resources to achieve the objective, communicating with and motivating your team, coordinating activities, and measuring and controlling performance towards the objectives that you want to achieve. So we will go into all of this over a period of time so you get to understand how to apply these systems and these techniques to your life. Along with this, you will learn more about the commercial financial sector, the investment financial sector, smart capital markets, and how to interface with accredited investors. So welcome once again. Today, we're going to be looking at a pretty interesting topic, and that is how smart entrepreneurs buy and manage debt. What is the first thing that you should think about when you're going to the commercial financial sector to take a debt? What is the first thing you should think about? Now, in our portfolio, in our program, we talk about issues that we call debt pre-qualification criteria. You need to understand some of this. So what do you begin with? Do you begin by looking at your income projection? No. Do you begin by looking at your expenditure projection? No. Do you begin by looking at your NOI, net operating income? No. Do you begin by looking at your ROI, return on investment? No. All of these things I've just spoke about are absolutely necessary when you're taking any step to buy a debt. But to be able to manage that debt effectively, one of the first things that you need to do is what we're going to call your debt analytics, your market analytics, your debt market analytics. You need to know this. Today, we're going to spend some time doing a deep dive into the belly of what we call the market analytics, because every single thing that you're going to be doing that I spoke about above ultimately rest on this foundation or falls under the umbrella of what we call doing your market analytics. If you don't have the market analytics, you're simply wasting a lot of time. So this is the life of a consultant. You know, we advise you on this and we walk you through this process to ensure that you get it right from the beginning. So what are the first things that you're going to be looking at under your market analytics? Step one, who is or are your specific target markets? Do you understand this? Do you really understand who is or are your target market? The average person might want to say, how important is this? It's really important. And it is close to ask a question that borders on absolute stupidity if you could ask the question like that. For the simple reason that if you don't know who you're targeting, you don't know how to build your value proposition. And if you don't know how to properly align your value proposition, you most likely might be putting a product or a service into the market that is completely non-aligned to the needs, wants, and expectations, dreams, hopes, and aspirations, lifestyle, culture, and social class of the specific target market. So the first thing that you want to do in your market analytics is take that time to understand who is your target market. Identify your specific demographic. Identify what are their lifestyle and their cultures and their social class. You need to do this. Now, in the event that you don't know how to do this, and we do understand in starting a business, you may not have all of the technical capabilities to get your business off the ground. And here is where you need to call in your mentor and coach and the business consultant that can give you the right support. You contact your PFAs, professional financial advisors, your personal financial advisors, and any properly trained PFA or business consultant will get you started on the right track. You know, there's a difference between doing a hustle and doing a business. All right? There's nothing wrong with doing your hustle. I like that. You need to have some hustle inside of you. But you must understand that doing business is raising the lid of how you do that hustle. You can take the hustle, scale the hustle into a business. We walk with you through all of this. I like the hustle, you know. Don't think I'm hitting on the hustle. You need that hustle sometimes. So we understand what is step one. So you understand who you're targeting. You understand your demographic. You understand the lifestyle, culture, and social class. Now you want to go one step forward. You want to understand the size of your market. You want to understand the density of your market. You want to understand the dispersion of your market. All of this is absolutely necessary. In the event that you're in business, and I know that many young entrepreneurs get into business without taking the time to understand all of this. Again, we have been saying that over 20% of business startups fail within the first year, and over 50% fail within 5 years. And it is your failure to do all of this that are causing you to fail. I know that what I'm about to say here, what I'm saying here is capital intensive, so I'm fully aware of this. And because of the high cost attached to doing primary market research, it creates a barrier from you to doing this. But my advice to you, there are smart ways of doing things, and keep following us. Log on to our YouTube channel, subscribe so you will get the daily updates that we are bringing to you. So you get new ideas as to things that you can do, steps that you can take to really scale your business, your idea, your brand with local, regional, and international relevance. Coming back to the subject matter, you need to know your market size. You need to know your market density. You need to know your market dispersion. Now, why is all of this necessary? Because I talked earlier on about income projection. The only way you can do an accurate income projection is by understanding your market size. That's the only way you can know your financials. If you're going to sit in your ivory tower and sit in your, your office space and speculate into the market size, you're doing nothing but speculating. And that is very, very risky. It's very misleading. Which venture capitalist that understands what they're doing will simply put money into your hands because you do what you call a sophisticated speculative analysis? It has to be based on doing your financials, your business financial, has to be based on solid market intelligence. You need to get primary market intelligence in terms of getting to the market, developing your financial projections. All right, so knowing your market size is the only practical means of developing your financial projections. All right, knowing the market size is necessary. Knowing your market density is necessary. And knowing your market dispersion is necessary. This is the hideous task that a consultant may have to do in order to make sure that they're giving you the right information to scale your business, your ideas, your brand with local, regional, and international relevance. And to collect these data, it cannot be collected in one day. This, again, is one of the reasons why we keep saying that the cost to get your business started is not cheap. There are many companies in the developed world spend 6 months to a year, 2 years doing these kind of market research to ensure that they are making critical market decisions. And it's going to cost them a lot of money. But the costs justify the results that you're going to get. And we're going to talk about more about the cost just now. We will talk about the justification. We will talk about the results so as to ensure that you really get this. You really get this and you fully internalize in the concept. And going into business, you know exactly what it takes and how to get the right skin in the game. If your consultants are not telling you this, I trust that they're not fluffing you or they're not just bleeding you for cash flow maximization. We don't have the time to do that. We are here and to provide critical information that will help you to make informed and educated decisions in terms of how you move your business forward. And we have the team of people at Venture Capital Fund, Global Branding and Marketing, to help you leapfrog your business, your ideas, and your brands into local, regional, and international markets. So coming back to it, you need to understand your market size, your market density, your market dispersion. These are some of the first things that you need to do, your market analytics. If you are not doing your market analytics, I don't want to say it, it's very much like if you're digging your grave. You don't want to mark time in business, you want to scale. Information is power, but the application of that information is where you get your superpower. All right. The next thing that I want us to look at here is what we call, and I talked about this before, is understanding the lifestyle, the culture, the social class of your target market. Why is this necessary? Because it is lifestyle that influence the customer purchasing decision. It is the culture that influences the customer purchasing decision. It is the social class that influences the customer's purchasing decision. And if you don't understand all of these things and the influence that it has on your specific demographic potential to purchase and purchasing power, again, you do not have enough skin in the game to make informed and educated decision in terms of how you do business. Perhaps this is another reason why so many businesses are failing, and perhaps why you may fail. This is ground zero in doing business. Ground zero. So this is what a consultant must do, has to do in helping you to get started on a solid foundation. Let's call this marketing 101. And this is not the beginning and the end, all right? The next step that we're going to look at is what we call the predeterminants of the market viability. I talked earlier about market viability, and you need to know this. How viable is that market? How can you predetermine if the market is viable? The only way you can predetermine the viability of your market is by doing everything I've told you about. Now, this is what you do. You go to the financial institution, you try to convince the financial institution that you want their money. And you cannot give the justification as to how this capital is going to be best used. And when you can give the clear justification of the viability of the business against the debt that you want to create, and you don't get the debt, you want to cost the financial institutions out. How can you do that? You're not getting enough skin in the game to do business the right way. You want to cost the financial institution out when you don't get the capital. I'm not saying in all cases it's fair, right? What, sometimes, they don't explain everything to you as to why you do not get it. And I believe that they owe it to you to ensure that you know why you succeeded and why you're failing. So next time you know exactly what practical steps you need to take to get better access to the capitals that are available. But I'm saying to you that you need to get enough skin in the game that you have all of this set up. If you don't know it, get a business consultant, get a business mentor, a business coach, get a PFA, a professional financial advisor, your personal financial advisor that can help you navigate some of the rough terrains of doing business. I'm not going to say to you that doing business is smooth. I'm not going to say to you that doing business is common sense. I'm not going to say doing business and being successful at it is being waking up today and just having a great idea and getting out there and it's going to be successful. It's going to take some time. It's going to take a lot of skin in the game for it to happen. That's the reality. But I'm saying to you that business is one of the sweetest things, the smartest thing, the cleverest thing that you can actually go into if you are looking to achieve financial independence. But you must do it the right way. You must get the right people on your side. All right. If you don't know where to look for that, I want to encourage you to reach out to us at Global Branding and Marketing. Reach out to us at Venture Capital Fund, Venture Capital Inc. And we are so excited to work with you. Okay. So we're talking here now about what we call the predeterminants of market viability. And there's two things that I want to talk about here. I want to talk about the market enablers, and you need to know what to look for when you're looking for market enablers. There's certain markets that you're going to attempt to get into that are going to be tremendous barriers. So in this case, you need to know how to apply your SWOT analysis, and you need to know how to apply your PEST analysis. If your consultants are not telling you this, all right, and it means you need better advice. And you know where to turn to get better advice. The second thing that I want to talk to in terms of looking at the predeterminants of the market viability is something that we call market accommodation. So you need to look at the enablers, and you need to look at the things that are there to accommodate you very smoothly in the market. What policies that exist, and how can you leverage your value proposition towards the policies that exist to give you the accommodation and the support and to grow. These are things that you should know. If you don't know, your consultant should be the one advising you on this path. All right, we're talking here business. We're talking about elevating the hustle into business. Okay, so the next thing that I want us to look at here is what we're going to call the cost for the market analytics. I talked earlier about the cost, and I said that doing everything that I'm doing here is capital intensive. It's capital intensive. It is capital intensive because is the knowledge base of your business, is the foundation of your business. All right. Would you call a mechanic to build your house? No, because the mechanic don't understand SWOT about building the house. You have to call an engineer. You have to call a building contractor that understand the entire process of getting that structure up and ensuring that the structure has structural integrity. The same apply with your business. You can use mechanics ideology where you should be using business intelligence, marketing intelligence, financial intelligence, and instead of that, you're using mechanics ideology. You're gonna fail. So the cost for market intelligence, the cost for business intelligence, the cost for financial intelligence is going to be capital intensive, but the cost justifies the end results. It justifies the means. Let's go into it to really help you to understand this. We're talking here about the cost for the market analytics, and what are some of those costs that we're looking at? There is a cost for the primary market research. There's a cost for the primary market research. The example that I want to give, and I've talked about this briefly before. Let's go straight to North America. In the United States of America, we have over 100 million persons that are living with hypertension. So you know this. That's a target market size. So you know the numbers, which is market size, but do you know how they are geographically dispersed? You need to know this. You know where you know where the most dense population of these people are? You need to know this. A consultant knows exactly where to go to get these kinds of data and then make it available to you. There's a cost for all of that. But let's look at cost this one. So you know the size of the market, but now what you want to do, you want to innovate a product or a service that can reverse hypertension. Because in your analysis, you are fully aware that hypertension is not a root cause, it is a symptom. But before you get to the product or the service, you still have to do your market analytics. So what the market analytics entails, and let's go through this. You have to go to the ground. You have to interface with the specific target market. Why do you need to do this? There are several things that I can think about why you need to do this. One is to understand what are their experiences, to understand the positive and negative impact of what they are currently using, to understand if they're going to be on this for a lifetime, medication for a lifetime treatment, and in most cases, yes, they are. You want to understand this and more. You want to know how it affects their energy level, how it affects their mental, flow, how it affects, their physiology and how male functions. You want to know all of these different things. One of the most strategic reasons of doing this is that you build in rapport with the clients. So out of that large number of 100 million, you want to do a quota sampling. And you can't do a quota sampling with 5. You need to do a quota sampling with about 50,000 persons. 50,000 persons. Now let us suppose that you're paying $5 for the researchers to go out and interface with one person, but you're targeting 50,000 American in your quota sampling. When you calculate the $5 by the $50,000, how much do you come up with? You come up with about $250,000. And that's a realistic cost for research. Now, I know that the average person cannot pay this kind of money for research. And I know for a fact that this is one of the barriers why many companies shy away from market research. But you're shying away from the foundation that your building stands on. You're shying away from the foundation that your business stands on. So what it means is if your business don't have this type of foundation where you truly understand your market size, you don't have this information, it means that you don't have a proper foundation. It's like you building your business, building your home on quicksand, and what's gonna happen? It's gonna collapse because you don't have the right information to make the right market decisions. Now, as simple as this is, 250 USD converted to GYD is about 50 million GYD. So I'm saying to you, to do this type of research is going to be costly. All right, but while this cost is going to be scary, for many young entrepreneurs, I want to show you something else that's going to make it sound very exciting. That's the power of market intelligence. So again, you do a quota sampling. Out of that market, the US market of people living with hypertension, you got over 100 million persons, you want a quota of 50,000 to really get deep into their lifestyle, to see how hypertension has affected their lives, and then to do perhaps your research, if you haven't done it as yet, as to how your value proposition can fix all of those challenges that they're going through. So you have 50,000 persons you're targeting, you put probably a team of 100 persons to go out and do that research. You're paying each one of them $5 US per questionnaire. And at the end of the day, you're paying 250,000 US, the equivalent of 50 million GYD to get that research done. So that's the cost, and that's not all the cost. All right, there's a cost for also designing the marketing research and data analytics. That data has to be analyzed by the consultancy firm. The 50 million GYD is only for the field people to get out there and get the job done. The research document has to be designed. When the research questionnaire comes back, it has to be analyzed. All of those things has to be done in the life of a consultant. It's not an easy walk in the park. It's work has to be done. This mental power has to get out there to get all of this done to help you scale your business or build a brand that has local, regional, and international relevance. There's a lot of skin in the game. All right, it's not sitting on your throne and doing wishful thinking. It's a lot of work. And you need to ensure that as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, you're building your business on a solid foundation. And that foundation begins with market intelligence. If you don't have market intelligence, you really don't have a business. You're building your business on shaky ground. And that's not something that you want to do. There's also a cost for building customer database. Now, a professional consultant will say that we're going to do that research, but that's not only is the cost for that research is not only to get the information, it's to analyze the data, and to also, at the end of this research, to create a customer database. Why do you need a customer database? Because you want to up-level it to cash flow maximization. The right consultant will literally walk you through this entire process. The next thing that you need to know is the cost to leverage the customer database in the client conversion and product testing. So you do that research, you understand what living with hypertension means to the clients and potential clients. So coming out from that research, you now innovate a new product or you innovate a new service. Now it has to be tested. Many of you ask yourself this question: do you test your products or services before you do your major launch? No, many of you are simply excited about cash flow maximization. You put your brand out there. In the developed world, you can't do that, because when you do that and you mess up, the consumer sues you. And when they sue you, you got to pay with what you don't ever have. And at a later date, in terms of doing businesses, we'll be teaching you a lot about asset protection. Because once you're doing business in the developed world, there may be some slippages, and you need to know how to legally protect yourself against lawsuits. We'll look at that later on. We got time. So these are all of these things that I'm talking about. Their cost in building your foundation for your business takeoff and elevation, and you need to know it. You need to know this. Now, I want to go into some examples of the positive impact of laying this foundation. I said earlier that you were targeting the 100 and above million persons that live in the United States of America with high potential. You target them because you understand now what living with high potential is and how you can reverse that process. Not by treating the symptoms, but by treating the primary cost, which means that you can help to rejuvenate energy and health and longevity for persons living with hypertension. Because some of the negative effects of living with hypertension, it eventually leads to kidney problems, heart problems, and stroke. And that's certainly not a healthy state to be in. But your value proposition can fix all of this. So here is where you have 100 million people. I'm just going to target 1 million, because let's say competition take the rest. You're able to target 1 million of this demographic, 1 million. And you're producing a product that has a monthly cost of about $25 US, which is about 5,000 GYD, $25 US. All right. On a monthly basis, you will be able to generate approximately 25 million USD, 25 million USD. And when convert that to GYD, we're talking about 5 billion GYD a month. That's an awful lot of cash flow for any small businesses. But you can't make informed and educated decision about the cash flow and potential of your operation unless you do the market analytics. You stay at your high, tower, and you make speculative analysis that is completely uninformed, and you want the cash flow maximized. You can't do that. This is called getting the skin in the game. Get the right consultant to help you to do the market research so they can give you the accurate information about your market, and you know exactly how to position yourself to move a process forward. Now look at this. You're paying $250,000 or $50 million to get this information. All right. 250,000 USD or 50 million GYD. You pay to get this information. Or it's going to be a little bit more when you factor in everything. But guess what? At the end of that research, your business is generating 25 million USD per month, or 5 billion GYD per month. Multiply that by 12. How much you could walk away with? 60 billion GYD per year. That's a decent operation. But you can't make this kind of critical marketing decision. You don't know your financials. So you see, when you have this information and you go to your venture capitalist and you say, this is the realities. We are already taking 1% of the market, because the persons living with hypertension is 100 million. You are taking 1% of that market, 1 million persons, and you can generate 25 million USD per month. 5 billion GYD per month. 60 billion GYD per year. This is music to your investors' ears. And this is the kind of skill that you need to get in the game. So when we talk about you understanding your financials, this is what you need to know. This can be your sales pitch. Everything that I've just said here to you can be your sales pitch. All right, can be your pitch to your venture capitalist. You know your financials. Look back at yesterday's program. I talked, along with knowing your financial, there are other things that you need to know. All right, so I trust you find today's program exciting. We went deep into the belly of what we call the market analytics. And before you go to the financial institution to create a debt, you want to know this, because why? You know that you can easily leverage the capital, the cash flow, not based on speculative analysis, not only based on secondary analysis, but based on primary market intelligence. You owe it to yourself. All right. Do not shortchange yourself or shortchange the customer. You hear me talk a lot about the importance of your value proposition. Your brand intention value trade must be above board. All right. Now, today we look at the market analytics. You need to know this. I clearly said this. When you go to a financial institution to attain capital, do not only look at your income projection. Do not only look at your expenditure projection. Do not only look at your NOI or net operating income, or your ROI or return on investment. You need to know your market analytics. All of those things are necessary, but most importantly, is to do your market analytics. Because every single thing else I've talked about, income projection, expenditure, NOI, ROI, they ultimately stands on your market analytics. Because from your market analytics, you understand your target market, you understand their needs, you understand the market size, you understand the market density, you understand the potential of the business, the cash flow in that market. You can then do your financial projections based on accurate market intelligence. Then you can do your income projection. So all of this is absolutely necessary when you're positioning yourself to go to any financial institution. And if you don't succeed, ask yourself if you're doing all of this. If you're doing all of this and you're still not succeeding, perhaps get a business consultant to negotiate that process for you, or show you alternative ways in which you can raise the capital to elevate your business and your brand and your idea with local, regional, and international relevance. Okay, good. So I'm going to bring it to a close today. I want to go into all the other areas, which is doing the analysis on the income projection, expenditure projection, NOI, and ROI. But we look at those in another day. All right, so again, remember at Venture Capital, Fund Venture Capital in Global Branding and Marketing, we have a team of PFAs, professional financial advisors and personal financial advisors that live and breathe to provide a quality service to you and your business. We have a team of economists. We have a team of accountants. We have a team of business consultants. We will have a team of lawyers joining us very soon, and to give proper representation to you and your brand. We're going to combine over 75 years of experience to go to work with the primary objectives of building your business, your brand, your idea with local, regional, and international benefits. So reach out to us today, right now, for a free consultation. My name is Gary Thompson. I'm a business development consultant by profession. I'm a humanitarian by nature, and I'm the multiple best-selling author for several books, including Manager's Toolkit and Billionaire Quotes. These two books are already on the bestseller list. Bestsellers. I'm also doing my new book, which we call The Psychology of Branding and Marketing. And you need this kind of materials to be reading. You know, your entire team need this kind of information. So I want to encourage you to reach out to us to get your copies of this book. Remember to log on to our sister company website, which is www.megamoneygy.com. Navigate front page. You can get copies of these books to purchase online from anywhere in the world. You can subscribe to our channel and you get daily updates, and you can navigate shopping at the top of their website, and you can see a number of the programs that we are current master programs that we are offering right now. I want to encourage you to find our YouTube channel, which is Venture Capital Fund. You can put Gary Thompson and like the page, subscribe to the page. It's free, and you'll be the first to get this information that we're putting out on a daily basis. So be blessed and see you on the other side.